YouTube. I've returned. Lord of the Rings Return of the King, Part 4. So this is my own version. Lord of the Rings Return of the Prince. Anyways, cheesy intro. I hope one of you got it. Today, we're just going to talk a little bit about fitness. Something that I love talking about, but more importantly, I love doing. I've been doing it now for 14 years. So what I wanted to talk about today is a recomposition, fat loss, how to lose weight, how to do it healthy, how to do it in a sustainable way, eat what you want, while still building up healthy habits, and how to not fall for these quick diet fixes and anything like that. So, I'm not gonna do any of these videos where the pictures pop up like that, or I go like that and the picture pops up at me. No, I don't know how I'm gonna do it. We're gonna see when I edit it. Anyways, so, as you know, I went through quite a transformation myself 2 years ago. In 2020, that was June, I was 190, very out of shape, and I had gained quite a bit of body fat. I was actually close to 30% body fat. Since then, I've gotten from 190 down to the lowest weight I got was 158. That was last June, and I was around 9% body fat. So, do the math. It is about, I'm gonna do the math right now, 58, 68, 78, 88, 34 pounds lost. And body fat, what's 30 minus 9? 21%. Okay, there, good math. All right, so 21% body fat loss and about 35 pounds is no joke. Definitely no joke. And I did it in a very healthy, sustainable way. No crashes, no pills, none of that shit. You know, it did take a long time, but it really depends what you want out of it. Do you want something quick where you just get back to your original shape right away? Or do you want something long-term? Because I got to that level and I've been able to pretty much maintain it. And I'm actually now in a bulking mode. I'm not 9% body fat. If you can see by my face, I got jawline, but I got cheeks filled of beaver tail filling. Like angry beavers. They just go. Anyways, when I am 9%, you'll see it in my face. I'm bulking right now. I'm probably at 14 to 15. I've gone from 158 in the summer, 9%, to 171 now. I plan to end my bulk at around 181, probably around March, do a 2-month cut, and then get back to 9% by June 1st again. And so, what did I want to talk about today? All right, how did I make the transformation? Number 1, how did I make the transformation? Well, by going to the gym. This was my routine. I went to the gym 5 days a week. When I talk about going to the gym, I talk about lifting. And so what we mean by that is resistance training. It doesn't have to be weights. It could be banded. I actually started off doing only bands. We started in COVID. And in COVID, there's absolutely, the stores were cleared out of all the weights, no equipment. And so I began doing banded exercises the first 3 months. I was just doing bands, body weight. I have a Pilates board, which is designed by the great Chuck Norris. I don't know if you know Chuck Norris. Who doesn't know Chuck Norris? Pilates board called the Total Gym 1000, designed by Chuck Norris and I think Jillian Michaels, two fitness legends. Anyways, so I did that for the first 3 months of the journey, and that only got me so far. And then all these weights came into the store, and everyone else was building their home gym in COVID. So I hopped on the train. I started building my own gym. Hold on, I just gotta look at myself in the mirror. Okay, I look good. Do I look good? Anyways, back to what's important, not my vanity. It's the education for you guys. So, I started off just doing runs. In the first 3 months, running 5K every 2 days. I gave myself a off day. What else? Resistance training 4 or 5 times a week. I started off doing banded exercises. And then eventually I progressed over to light weights. And then eventually once I got a barbell, I progressed to the barbell. And then once the gyms opened up, I progressed to machines, cables, all sorts of stuff. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I made my most progress in the gym. But that first year of the journey, I still made quite a bit of progress, and I'll attach all the pictures and the videos so you guys can see how it went. One thing I wanna make it clear is prior to that, I had about 7 years of weightlifting experience, both powerlifting, accessory bodybuilding training, hypertrophic training, and so that does make a difference when it comes to comes to how I look, I'm a personal trainer. That's what I did for the last year and a half. I've had a lot of clients come up to me and they ask, Sushil, how do I look like you? Or I want to have your physique, and I would tell them, it's great, I love it, I love your ambition, I love your goals, but I had a 7-year background in weightlifting. And so unless you really did have that, you can't really expect the same type of results. Plus, every body is unique, every single body. And I've said this to all my clients. I have 2 people come into the consultation room, and I can have 2 brothers, 2 sisters, a mom and a daughter, whatever it is. Now, you might be thinking, oh, similar genetics, similar bloodline, yes. But I've had to prescribe them 2 different meal plans. I've had to prescribe them 2 different training programs. And I've had to prescribe them 2 different, just like, approaches to how they can get fit. Because subject A, brother of, let's say, 2 brothers walk in, maybe one's 25, the other one's 22. Maybe they both play sports. Maybe they both have incredible genetics. But one brother responds really well to carbohydrates and it grows. He grows his muscles, he stays lean. Other brother doesn't stay lean. He actually gets a little bit more chubbier because of that. So it's up to the trainer to see obviously how much carbs each person needs. And that's what I'm trying to say is everyone is individualized. Now, this isn't for you guys to go out and get a trainer. It's for you to learn your own body. I learned my own body because I had been working out for 7 years and I'd been doing everything myself, self-taught in this whole industry. And so who better than yourself? But when you're new and you're just starting out, you may not know that. But what I recommend is to pay attention to how your body feels after certain foods. How do I feel after, let's say, 150 grams of carbs? Okay, great. I got energy. Now let's bump it up. How do I feel on 200 grams of carbs? Oh, I'm a little bit more sluggish. No. So let's keep it at 150, and maybe instead of going 200 grams, we make more frequent meals. You see what I'm saying? Next. Now, that has nothing to do with weight loss. I just want to make that clear. It just has to do with performance and how you are throughout the day. But let me tell you something. If subject A, who's being pumped in 200 grams of carbs, is always fucking tired all day because his carb servings are higher than what it should be because it's lowering his blood sugar, then it's apparent he needs lower carbs in every meal and he can just have more frequency because he's going to have more energy throughout the day. What's that energy going to do? It's TDEE. It's energy that's being burnt inside your body, metabolic processes, that's going to burn calories. What else is that energy going to do? It's going to give you brain power, strength for your gym workouts. It's going to give you strength to work. A lot of people do outdoor jobs. Some people do desk jobs where they need their brain to function. So whatever it is, that's how I look at my nutrients, especially when it comes to nutrition. It's not just calories in, calories out. There's so much more when it comes to macronutrients. And I just want, once you start paying attention to your body, you know exactly how much to give it. Now, it doesn't have to be that detailed and deep when it comes to losing weight. It is calories in and calories out. But guess what? If that's all you do and you eat 2,000 calories worth of McDonald's or 2,000 calories worth of donuts, you're not going to get the great results because your body is an indicator of what you put in. I'm just going to pause for a second. Let's talk about activity level. Let's talk about that performance again when it comes to, when to eat certain foods, meal timing. Does that make a difference? Do the amount of carbs you go through the day make a difference? As I talked about the carbs before, all that stuff. Meal timing does not make a difference when it comes to total weight loss, total weight gain. It really doesn't. It depends on your activity level. I have a lot of people who say, okay, it's so hard for me to eat in all my calories after I get off of work. Well, don't wait until you're done work to get in all your calories. That's a fool's bargain. It's not gonna happen. What you need to do is get in a big breakfast early, distribute your calories like your wealth throughout the day. Now, for someone who has, let's say they work later in the day, well, then maybe eat something a little bit lighter in the morning and then take some more meals to work. So all of that stuff does not have any bearing, it really doesn't, on your total results in the gym. All that has to do with how hungry you're going to be throughout the day and how satiated. Why does that make a difference? Satiation means to be satisfied or full. If you have the feeling of being full all day, your body is never going to be in a state of craving. It's never going to be in a state of wanting things. And that's what you want when you're losing weight. You want to be satiated, you want to be full. Things that do that: water consumption. Are you guys drinking 2 to 3 liters of water a day? That's the bare minimum I give everyone. But for people who work out like me, I pump it up to 4 to 5. But I'm a water buffalo. You guys know that already. Okay, what else? Sleep. Sleep is so important. I need to take this advice, but I'm a night owl. Not really. I'm just an insomnia. I just don't sleep. I tried everything. But anyway, 6 to 8 hours minimum. Your guy over here sleeps like 4 to 6. 6 on a good day. Yeah, on a good day. So, anyways, one day I'll sleep again. One day. I'm waiting for that day. I'll be Sleeping Beauty. But until then, let me play the insomniac card. Okay, so 6 to 8 hours. Why does that make a difference? Sleep regulates hormones. Sleep regulates cortisol, which is a stress hormone. Sleep regulates all sorts of things. How well your metabolic processes are running internally, hair, skin, nails, everything. Plus, cognition. Sleep deprivation is worse than water deprivation. And so a lot of people, when they don't see results, that's another thing that you can look at. Are you getting enough sleep? 6 to 8 hours, bare minimum, but 8 is preferred. Next. What's next? Food. We talked about food. We talked about macronutrient portioning. Carbs. Do carbs matter? I see people, they just cut all sorts of carbs out of their diet and they go full keto and they're like, "Shill, build me a keto diet." And I'm like, why? What's the point of omitting carbs? Do you like fats that much? Or do you dislike carbs that much? Take it from the world's biggest carb master. I eat cake, donuts, rice. I'm Indian. What do you expect? Rice runs in my household every day. But not only that, I love all sorts of carbs. Pasta, pizza, burgers, anything. Cannoli. I love carbs. Never gonna give it up. But I choose the right carbs. Am I gonna choose refined carbs and white flour and enriched flour? No. I'm gonna go with whole wheat, whole grain. Let me detail the carbs. There is white enriched, best tasting. It's great if you're a child. We're not children, are we? Step up, number 2. On top of that, brown bread. I'm just gonna equate it to bread just to make you guys this example a little bit more clear. So we got white bread, no good, no bueno. Then we got brown bread, a little bit better, but it's actually just fake white bread, colored brown. Next, we got multigrain, which is a little bit better, a little less processed. And then finally, top of the food chain, you got whole. What did I just say? I went multigrain, then whole grain. Whole grain is the top of the food chain, cream of the crop. Least processed, very organic. And then obviously you can go even higher. You can go sprouted bread, gluten-free, all that jazz. I'm not going to go to that jazz. I'm good with whole grain. Whole grain keeps you satiated. Remember I talked about satiation? Fullness? That's what it does for me. White flour does not keep you satiated. Now, it's okay once in a while. I'm not saying omit all white rice, white carbs from your diet, like white pasta. It tastes effing amazing. But what do you want? Do you want to get bogged down with a lot of refined sugar, or do you want to have energy for the day? So whole wheat carbs, whole grains will really help you do that. Next, proteins. Yeah, let's talk a little bit more about carbs. Switching out something like a white potato, white russet potatoes for sweet potatoes. They keep you full a little bit longer. Just small little tips like that. Let's get into, does timing matter? A lot of people are like, "Oh, Sushil, I don't eat carbs after 5. Or, "Sushil, I don't eat carbs after 7. Get out of here. What kind of myth is this? Are we in Hamlet, where the witches are prophesizing a tale? Is that Hamlet or is that Macbeth? I don't know what it is. I have debunked every wives' tale and myth in the fitness industry. Myth number 1, no carbs after 6, 9, whatever it is. I could eat a Krispy Kreme donut, and when I was in my peak season, wake up with abs the next day. That's attributed to not only my hard work, but let's throw away my hard work. Let's debunk that myth. It doesn't matter. So, donuts, sugar, carbs after 6, 9, whatever it is before bed, it really doesn't matter. But guess what? It's gonna keep me up. It's gonna help you not sleep. So I cry because of that. But who cares? I get to eat Krispy Kreme. All right, so now that I've debunked that myth, keto, yeah, that's also a bunch of, let's say, crock, because I love my carbs. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with keto. There's tons of people who are gluten sensitive. There's tons of people who have diabetes. So for them, I would prescribe or recommend something a little bit more ketogenic, a little less carbs, especially refined carbs, because it's gonna do so good for their whole body and their brain chemistry. But unless you're in that category, feel free to eat your carbs in moderation. Choose the right ones. Let's jump over to protein now.
Can Ross in there please come to the front desk?
Okay, but here's one thing that does work when it comes to meal timing. Intermittent fasting, 100% it does. So what intermittent fasting is it reduces your eating window. Rather than waking up, eating, going to bed, eating right before bed, it's within a 8-hour window. So you're eating, let's say between 9 to 5, that's 8 hours, right? Yeah, 9 to 5, and then the other times of the day you're not eating. So pretty much you're eating for 8 hours, and you're not eating for 16 hours. 16-8 is a very common IF window. I've had a lot of clients get great results. I myself did IF for about 8 months, but it's not something I would do anymore, just because right now my body really responds well to eating every 2 to 3 hours. So that is one thing that does work when it comes to meal timing and macronutrient timing. Is IF, intermittent fasting. It works great, but all it is just reducing your eating window. And so if you're someone that likes to eat everything after work, remember when I told you guys about that? Sure, go ahead. But if you can't wait and you're like, shit, I'm starving, my brain's going, it's like brain fog all day because you haven't eaten, then maybe have your IF window earlier, or don't even do IF. It really depends on you. And that's where, remember what I told you at the beginning of the video, pay attention to your body. Pay attention to how you react with certain carbs. Pay attention to how you react with certain proteins. And pay attention to how you react to certain fats. That leads me to my next macronutrient, the favorite one, the building block of protein, the powerhouse protein. Sorry, the building block of muscle, protein. It is the most, in my opinion, macronutrient because it is the building block of protein. It keeps you satiated and it burns fat. Diets that are higher in protein tend to have you looking leaner. It's not the fact that you're omitting carbs, because I could give you guys a 40-40 carb to protein ratio, which is, let's say, the same amount of carbs and protein. As long as the protein is high, and that person's still gonna look leaner than maybe someone on a 30% carb to 50% protein ratio, right, nice one. Ratio. And so you see how the amount of carbs doesn't matter, but if you have more protein, it is gonna help you burn fat because it keeps you more satiated. It's a building block of muscle, and there's no point letting your hard work in the gym go to waste. So protein is very important. Aim for 1 gram per pound of body weight minimum. I up that to anywhere from 1.5 to 2 grams per pound of body weight. For example, I'm about 170 right now. 170 grams. That's the minimum I'll do when it comes to protein. Personally, I like eating 225 to 250 grams of protein. I feel great. And in terms of carbs, I do the same, around 200, sometimes 225, sometimes 250 grams of carbs. And fats, I like the 100 grams of fats. That's one of my favorite splits. Recently, I've been favoring a little bit higher protein, higher fat, and just a little bit of a reduction in carbs because my body is responding really well to it. I don't know if it's the fact that it's a winter time and I need a bit more fat, or whether I'm on a bulk. I don't know what it is. Protein's very important. It is crucial to building up that muscle, or else you're literally just burning yourself out in the gym. You're in for a workout, your muscles are getting destroyed, because what the act of working out is actually breaking down the muscle. And guess what repairs it? Protein. So it doesn't matter if you have collagen, it doesn't matter if you have all these supplements like pre-workout, this and that. If you're not getting enough protein, you're not gonna grow. You can get most of your protein in from food, but look at it this way. To get in, for me, 225 grams through chicken breast alone, guys, one chicken breast is around 35 grams of protein. So how many do I have to eat? Let me do mind math. 8. The answer is 8 chicken breasts. 8 times 35 equals around 235. I'm not gonna eat 8 pieces of chicken a day. That's too much. You're joking me? My colon, my liver, all that's gonna go to shit. No thanks. Not to mention, like, I already had colonoscopy very young. Like, I don't know if you guys need to know that. And I had a biopsy. I had an adenoma removed, which is essentially a polyp or a tumor. I don't know if you guys know that. But anyways, thank God it was non-cancerous. But yeah, that was my life. So ever since then, I don't eat that much meat, especially red meat. Although chicken is not a red meat. I keep my meat servings, like when it comes to chicken, steak, whatever it is, to lunch and dinner, and I get in accessory proteins, accessory meats, and I'll talk about those a little bit more, but my primary meat sources are only in lunch and dinner. And there's no way you can eat 8 chicken breasts. You'd have to be insane, or professional bodybuilder. But even professional bodybuilders aren't relying on purely chicken breasts, right? So, eggs, great source of protein. One whole egg is around 7 to 8 grams of protein. It's a great source. I would probably limit the amount of whole eggs you eat because it has a high amount of cholesterol. Remember, you're not just doing this to look good on the outside. You want to feel good on the inside, and you want to have a long-lasting body. So it doesn't matter what you do at 20 if you end up getting cholesterol or whatever it is by 30 or 40, which I've seen a lot of my peers and colleagues get, which I don't want. Now, that's why, limit the whole eggs. I probably have 3 to 4 a day, which there's nothing wrong for the guys out there. For the girls, maybe 1 to 2. But primarily, egg whites are a much better source of whole protein. It omits the fat, it omits the cholesterol fat from the eggs. You can still eat 1 to 2 whole eggs a day, and that's totally fine. Other protein sources that you want to watch out for is the saturated fats in these protein sources. Things like ribeyes and things like that, porterhouse steaks, they taste amazing, don't they? I love myself a ribeye. But guess what? I can't always eat a ribeye because it has a high amount of saturated fat. So what do I want? Do I want muscles or do I want cholesterol? Because you keep eating that, and by the time you're 30 or 40, you're going to get cholesterol. So, no. So, maybe switch that off. Cut off the ends of fat. Maybe switch it off for a flank steak. And I know you're all sitting at home like, Sushil, flank steak is so dry, it's so plain. Guess what? That's life. Everything has its price. Indulge too much, and your body pays the price. Indulge too little, and you're unhappy. It's all about finding that balance. I have maybe 1 ribeye a week at most on a bulk. I might not even have that on a cut. That's enough for me. That's enough for most people. What else? Fish is a great source of protein. There's a lot of great fishes out there. Obviously salmon. Salmon has a lot of good fats rather than just bad fats out there. Omega-3, omega-6, omega-9, leucine, isovaline. Those are actually BCAAs naturally found in fish. What else? So yeah, look for lean sources of protein. I'm sure you guys have seen 80-20, 90-10 extra lean ground beef. Great option. You can make those burgers or the prepackaged blue menu burgers from all the lean burger companies, rather than going off and getting fast food all the time. So many great options. Shrimp, another very lean source of protein, very low in calorie. Tuna. So there's so many things out there, but maybe you're not a meat eater. Maybe you eat only vegetables. Maybe you're a vegan or you're looking to change. Well, nowadays, you go to the grocery store, the vegan section is loaded. Guys, I just had a Beyond Meat burger and goddamn, it's almost like a real beef burger. I really liked it. I think I might keep buying it. Again, I'm only trying to keep my meat consumption to lunch and dinner. With breakfast, I have turkey sausage. With my snack, I have slices of turkey. I have turkey bacon if I need it. But again, I don't have it too often because I try to get proteins from other sources. And you can definitely get protein from other sources. Greek yogurt has quite a lot of protein and a good amount of fat. And so, proteins that are low in saturated fats, high in protein level is what you want to go for. They keep you full, keep you burning fat, and that's that.